This image looks a bit abstract, but just bear with me, because it does describe in a normal person that these pores, when the bacteria interact with epithelial cells, these xenophagic pores do engulf them, and then, looking from C to D enlarged, degrades them. However, in COPD, you can see at the same time that the bacteria seems to reside in the cell quite happily, and in fact stays in these pores as a Trojan horse, where it can go on to exist and divide in these cells, or perhaps lay dormant. And you can see here, this is the bottom of the cell culture dish on a multi-layer cell sort of a culture. And so therefore it's traversed through those cell layers as such. Hence, for COPD airway epithelial cells, NTI seems to survive longer versus in healthy cells. And this appears to be due to ineffective xenophagy. And I've also identified and further validated in other experiments that had a lot of biochemistry I didn't want to bore you with, that cigarette smoke and azithromycin strongly inhibit the xenophagic process. And so together, these results are strongly indicative that when xenophagy is defective, it can lead to greater NTHI in COPD participants, and therefore may explain why there's so many recurrent infections and why it's such a big exacerbator. Now, the million-dollar question, or even more, is do these conditions favor the generation of antibiotic-resistant NTHI? So to further this research and confirm these findings, I've obtained fluorescent NTHI from the Nationwide Children's Hospital, lovely Professor Lauren Bacalet, as well as I'm going to assess a fluorescent azithromycin to see where it goes in the cell as it relates to xenophagic structures, and test the structure of azithromycin to identify where in its structure it's blocking xenophagy. And finally, I'll trial a non-antibiotic azithromycin obtained from the great Japanese and very famous Japanese lab, Kyosato University, to see if this non-antibiotic azithromycin can mitigate the issues with antibiotic resistance, as well as whether the modifications they've made to it mitigates the block in xenophagy. And no work is done by one person. All these lovely people really helped out and supported me, and I'd like to thank you as well.